Dear friends in Afghanistan and around the world, welcome to Afghans Learning English. In this lesson, we will talk more about how to tell a story. Imagine you hurt your arm in an accident at work. You want to tell your family what happened. You could say, I was working at my desk. I was typing an email. Suddenly, the fire alarm sounded. I stood up and left the office. As I was walking, I tripped over a chair and fell down. That is how I hurt my arm. In your story, you were doing some actions that took a long time to do. For example, you were working, you were typing. These are past continuous verbs. They show an ongoing action in the past. In the middle of doing those actions, something happened. The fire alarm sounded. This is a past simple verb. It shows a short action that happened in the middle of your past ongoing action. We use this combination of past continuous and past simple verbs to show when an action happened in the past. Look at the other example. As I was walking, I tripped over a chair. When did the tripped over a chair happen? It happened during the walking. To make the past continuous verb, we use the helping verb was or were, and we add an ing to the end of the main verb. If your subject is I, he, she, or it, use the helping verb was. Otherwise, use were. For example, he eats becomes he was eating. I run becomes I was running. You give becomes you were giving. Note the example with the verb run. Since run ends with one vowel followed by one consonant, we need to double that last consonant. Also see the example with the word give. Since it ends in an E, you need to remove the E before you add the ing. Now let's look at some examples from the Holy Bible. We are going to look at a story about how Jesus the Messiah got his followers. If you do not have a Holy Bible, you can find one online. Open up your browser. Type in BibleGateway.com. Click on the down arrow next to the words Bible Book List. Under the title New Testament, select the book called Luke. Then a list of chapters will appear. Go down to where it says 5 and select that chapter. Luke 5 will appear on your browser. One day, as Jesus was standing by the lake of Gennesaret, the people were crowding around him and listening to the word of God. He saw at the water's edge 2 boats, left there by the fishermen, who were washing their nets. He got into one of the boats, the one belonging to Simon, and asked him to put out a little from shore. Then he sat down and taught the people from the boat. When he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, "Put out into deep water and let down the nets for a catch." Simon answered, "Master, we've worked hard all night and haven't caught anything. But because you say so, I will let down the nets." When they had done so, they caught such a large number of fish that their nets began to break. So they signaled their partners in the other boat to come and help them, and they came and filled both boats so full that they began to sink. When Simon Peter saw this, he fell at Jesus' knees and said, "Go away from me, Lord. I am a sinful man." For he and all his companions were astonished at the catch of fish they had taken, and so were James and John, the sons Zebedee, Simon's partners. Jesus said to Simon, "Don't be afraid. From now on you will fish for people." So they pulled their boats up on shore, left everything, and followed him. Look back at the first sentence in the story. We have the past continuous verbs, was standing, and were crowding. What happened as Jesus was standing by the lake and the people were crowding around him? He saw the boats. Also, the fishermen were washing their nets. During the washing their nets, they left their boats by the edge of the water. This is another example of a past simple action that happened during a past continuous action. Now we will see what you learned today. You were on your bicycle going to visit your friend. Unfortunately, a goat suddenly ran in front of your bike. How can you explain to your friend why you are late? If you selected, "I was riding my bike when I accidentally hit a goat," then you are correct. You were making delicious rice and meatballs on your electric stove when there was a power cut. How can you explain to your family why the food is not ready? If you selected, "I was cooking supper when the electricity went out," then you are correct. What did we learn today? In English, you can use the past continuous tense with the past simple tense to show when one event happened in the middle of another event. We also learned that the disciples of Jesus the Messiah left everything to follow him. If you want to see more content from Afghans Learning English, please subscribe to this channel. If you want to read today's story in your own language, open your web browser, type afghanbibles.org, then choose your language. For example, I will choose Dari. The New Testament should already be showing. Next, select Luke. From the chapter menu, choose Chapter 5. That is all for this lesson. Go in peace.